Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. So, previous episodes I laid out the build plan in terms of skills and then I talked a little bit about devotion points. And I want to go a little bit deeper into devotion points because it is actually pretty darn difficult to do what I said I wanted to do. So, previous episode I mentioned I wanted to get Elemental Seeker because it's a pure elemental thing that is pretty darn cool. And on the tree here there's 100% extra fire damage, burn damage, there's fire resist, there's crits, there's offensive ability, spirit, there's a whole bunch of extra cold damage, lightning damage. This is an insane boost for this build. The thing is, it requires 10 purple points and 18 green points. Getting 10 purple points is easy. 18 green? That's gonna take you the entirety of the game, basically, to get it. And the reason for that is there's not a lot of good caster constellations in green. A lot of them are like the bat here. They do vitality and bleeding, or I believe a bit like the spider is defensive. That's the spider is a good one, quote unquote a good one, and it's basically because it doesn't do anything with specific damage types. It just gives you cunning and spirit and some defensive bonuses, and it's basically, I'm really mad about it, but it's 6 points, so I probably feel compelled to get it. But here another one with poison and chaos damage, and the scorpion here is also all acid and poison. So in green there's a lot of things that are probably good if you're playing a warlock or an occultist, but they're not really good if you're an elemental caster. So it's a bit beyond me why this pure elemental bonus requires 18 green. I don't get it. So I spent about 3 hours making a spreadsheet, going through the wiki, and just trying to come to grips with what to do here. And eventually I came up with a plan. And basically in this Let's Play I'm not gonna make it to Elemental Seeker, because you need, if you follow the plan I came up with, you need 48 points to get Elemental Seeker. You get 50 once you by completing all the devotion shrines, all the quests, all the way up until ultimate difficulty. And you're gonna get 20-25-ish in normal or veteran mode. So this is the thing to aspire to, but we're not gonna reach it. That said, this one is really nice because it boosts a lot of things. On the other hand, over here you got Elemental Storm, which is like a light version of the Elemental Seeker. So the Elemental Storm, it has a 25% chance on attack to trigger. It does elemental damage, it does the elemental damage over time versions, it reduces the target's elemental damage. So all in all, this is a pretty darn good skill as well. And the important thing is it only requires 4 purple and 6 green, which is actually achievable. You need 13 points, I think, to get this. And it also adds a number of interesting bonuses. So it's nice. So let's just go through the build plan. I actually made some notes over to the side here. So the way I started off here with the green crossroads, that's good. After that I'm gonna grab the raven. This is a hawk. This is a raven. So the raven gives you all damage. It gives you a spirit. It gives you offensive ability. And it gives you some spirit and energy regen, and it gives you bonuses to pets which you don't care about. But these are fairly generic good things. And it's 4 points that you invest in, again 5 green. So that's good. Okay, next up we go to the purple starting node. We get some offensive ability, and then we have another bird. We have the owl, that's over here, which gives you some spirit, it gives you elemental resistances, and it makes your skills 5% cheaper, which is good in a pure caster build like we're playing. You have some frostburn, basically all the elemental damage over time, attacks that do extra damage, and finally you also have elemental damage and less damage reflection that you take. Again, it's 4 points that you invest and you gain 5 back. So once you complete this one, you will be able to do the Rowan's Crown over here, and that's gonna net you Elemental Storm, and it gets you another point in each of the colors. So after this, we grab Scholar's Light, which is the candle over here. That's more elemental damage, it's more energy. There's more elemental resistance, and there's a bit of fire damage. It's 3 points in, and 4 points come out. So it's a pretty effective way to grab a green. This is probably one of the strongest green nodes there are. So after that, we grab the spider. As I mentioned, I'm a bit reluctant about it, but things like chaos resistance are okay to get. It's difficult to get it, so spider is okay. So that's gonna stack you up on green points. Then we're gonna go back to the crossroads and we're gonna grab the blue starting node. So that's gonna be the defensive ability, which will lead us into the Wraith. This looks like a Wraith. Yes, this is a Wraith. So you get lightning damage, you get ether damage, spirit and ether resistance, energy absorption from spells and some offensive ability, and you gain some bonus lightning and ether damage, and it amplifies both of the damage types. And the interesting bit is that Panetti's replicating missile, it uses all 3 elements, but it also has a very strong ether component. Once I did the numbers, I actually underplayed how much ether damage you do, especially once you get the final upgrade, where it's gonna explode into multiple ether shards, which do all, of course, ether damage. So scaling ether damage from here is actually pretty darn nice. So this is gonna get us the Wraith. Then that's gonna give us enough blue points to get a tsunami, which... Actually curious, what does a tsunami look like? Are you a tsunami? Yes, you're a tsunami. Well, actually this is the same level. You could mix them out. You could grab tsunami before the Wraith, actually. But eventually this is going to give you a proc skill, which gives you cold and lightning damage in AoE fashion. It adds a bunch of cold damage, light damage, electro, just the damage of time variations, and some more spirit and some more extra damage. So this is just a very nice offensive skill. So once you got that, you can get Amatok, the Winter Spirit, which I really wish there was like a search feature in this. But over here, Amatok, the Winter Spirit, which requires 4 and 6 in green and blue. So that's gonna get you more than enough points. It's gonna massively boost your cold damage. Give some extra health and defensive ability. More cold resistance, cold damage, frostburn damage. This is just cold, cold, cold. Extra frostburn damage, more frostburn damage, but that extra lasts longer. And finally you get Blizzard, which is a 100% chance to proc on the critical attacks. And that's gonna give you a very nice cold based damage and damage over time effect, which gets you another green and a blue. And by that point, you have exactly 18 green points. After which you can go back and you can get yourself the Elemental Seeker in the Blind Sage. But as I said, that's 48 points. That's ultimate difficulty stuff, and well, that's gonna take you a while. For me, I'm gonna aim for Elemental Storm, which is 13 points. So I should have that about halfway through this Let's Play, and after that we'll go into some of the blue stuff and just have some fun. So it's all going to be very, very aggressive stuff. So I also had a quick look over my gear. I hauled in some of my low-level crafting materials that I had collected on other characters, just so we have it, so we can upgrade our gear a little bit. So both our gun and our offhand now have chilled steel in it, which boosts our cold damage by 12%. And it boosts the damage of our gun, but we don't use it. So it's just a small bonus to the cold damage. Had some money, which I used to buy this ring from the vendor, which gives a +1 to Panetti's replicating missile. So your rings can actually get a +2 skills, which is pretty cool. So I'm still looking for a ring that gives you another +1 for the other hand. And eventually we're gonna have a wand or something that boosts the Panetti's. I've socketed it with ectoplasm because it gives +2 to energy regen, and it boosts your energy pool a little bit. Also got a belt, put some armor in it. Nice thing is, if you put armor in a belt, it's gonna apply to your entire body, which is very interesting because if you put armor in your gloves, it's only gonna apply to your gloves. But now you got these zones of your body, and all armor applied to gear that's not one of these zones is applied to your entire body. So it's a weird game mechanic, but well, it works. So not gonna complain about it. And I just got some really cheap gear for the shoulder pads and the gloves and things like that. So everything now has armor. And with that, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna start killing. So we are gonna cleanse these tunnels. Kill lots of things. And have a good time. I think this was actually one of the first times I properly sat down to theory craft the devotion. And the experience is still as confusing as it was when devotion was added. I'm very grateful for whomever put all the data on the wiki. The Grim of Dawn Gamepedia, I think. Oh, just the Grim Dawn wiki. There's only one, so. But it's just like with Path of Exile. A wiki like that, it's just it's crucial for theory crafting because the devotion screen itself is just horrible for compiling all the data. Also, stop trying to murder me. Here. Okay, so these frozen sky shards, they're not really there for the damage. But they will be there when the second upgrade is there and they will start freezing things. I figured it would be nice to have it on the bar anyway as well. Kill more of these overseer corruptor things. I think someone dropped an eyeball. Oh, stop trying to murder me. Thank you. Still have to walk around all the way. Because there's a staircase over here. Freeze all the things and then blow them up. Okay, so I'm taking quite a bit of damage over here. That's of course because, well, I don't do enough damage to one hit kill the strongest of the opponents yet. So I can't fend them off. They will make it to me before I get killed. Well, before I start taking damage in melee. So one of the important things is going to be to focus on actually freezing things. Because well, I feel freezing things is going to be probably part of the safety. And besides that, we're just going to try to murder things as fast as possible. Well, this is probably going to be the most aggressive build I've had yet. And that's mostly by virtue of having to be the most aggressive build I've played yet. Because there's not a lot of defenses in a caster. At least not the way I'm playing it right now. I'll probably discover something tanky. I do have a bit of a habit of turning everything I play into a caster. Into a tank, I mean. Even though so far I haven't, and I'm consciously not going with a shield, but I'm going with a caster offhand. And that is, well, making things difficult, so to say. Well, not for the build, of course, because, well, it adds a ton of damage and efficiency and bonuses to skill points and things like that. But it's... going with a shield would have been a more sensible defensive option, but since I'm not playing on hardcore, I'm not gonna go with the shield just yet. Also, you are still cocooned. Give me your loot. Also, that is better than what I got currently, and we gained a level. So, 2 more points. And Panetti's goes to 6. So, 3 to 4 fragments. And almost 100 damage. And in terms of bonuses, it's nicely divided. It's mostly cold, and then fire and lightning are mostly equally divided still. I'm splitting my stats currently 40% strength or physique and 60% on spirit. So that's 2 points in physique and then 3 points in spirit. And unless I need to assign the points, I'm just gonna save them up until I got 5 and then I'm gonna assign 2 and 3. Just to keep the distribution relatively clear. And my thinking is that way I'll strike a bit of a balance between life and energy and just meeting the requirements for everything. Of course, by putting all my points first into my my mastery, I'll gain a lot of stat points anyway. We already have all that gear. Probably at this point I can switch out of the white items and just only show yellows and better. It will make things less cluttered. I mean, until I've got everything, something in every slot, I am willing to see the white items, but once you got them, there's really no point, because they're not worth anything to sell. In terms of defenses, of course, I've got the Mirror of Erioctes, which, well, makes me immortal for 3 seconds. Well, the fact that the cooldown is 30 seconds at the beginning, and I think eventually it's going to be something like 15. Once you sink like a dozen points in it. So it's a bit lower on my priority list, but eventually I want to have it maxed. But first, damage. Or a stronger desire not to die. Right now, a little bit of skirmishing, just hitting, running, in combination with just blasting them to bits. Works pretty well, so I don't need as many defenses. In all the Mires, they run to me, so I can shoot them in the face, and the casters, or if they shoot projectiles, I can just physically dodge them. And eventually on my gear I will have some life regen, so. Oh, if I get hit every once in a while, the life regen should take care of that. Also, did they redesign this? I think they redesigned this. I don't remember this area being like this. With the dark bit. Hello there, Phil of the Corruptor. Here, I have some meteors from the sky. Ow, tanking a poison nova. Here, be frozen. Ah. You're unique, you don't like to be frozen. Okay, you do a wave, I do a wave attack. So keep in mind, at this point I don't have any resistances yet, of course. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna tank you. Because, well, there's no real repositioning yet. That's definitely something I'll have to work on, but no more skills will get more freezing for longer duration, and as a result it's gonna be more viable to just freeze and slow things. Ruined Shrine, fix it, get another devotion point, and some yellow items. And with a bit of luck, there's more stuff over here. Ooh, a knife of electrocution. And another offhand book. It boosts acid damage, which I don't really care about. So that's not good. This dagger though boosts acid, electrocute and poison damage. While my current one only boosts fire by 8%. Sad to say that my pistol is probably better still at this point. Helmet's not really an upgrade. Body armor. It's more armor, but no energy regen. That's tough. No upgrades. Oh. We can still blast things. Blast things to bits. But yeah. Maybe some life regen, some life leech, things like that. They might be stats to look for. We'll see. Most of the time I improvise while I play. You start out with a plan. It's more of a guideline than a strict plan. And then by the time you are done with normal difficulty or veteran difficulty, basically once you're done playing through the campaign, then you got a pretty good feel for what the build wants and needs. And because you can respec your skills, I'm completely not worried. We will see where the strengths lie, where the weaknesses lie, and if I take too much damage, and in areas where I have to deal with melee attackers. Now if I can't, then we'll just change the builds to accommodate it. Maybe we'll pick up a second class or something to compensate. Because in the end we do really nice physical damage, or really nice damage with this. Ranged AoE, it's pretty cool. Everything else can be fixed. So this was for Barnabas. So let's have a chat with him.
Any luck
Here,
clearing out
mister.
those slits? Well
Stits.
done.
Thank you. And we get another bag, which is always nice. I'm always very happy to get that extra bag. Okay. Let's see. More crafting stuff. So all the stuff that permanently hides out in my inventory goes over here. Crafting stuff goes over there.
Come see what's left of my wares.
I think we already decided that all the items we found are basically up to no good. Ooh, 5.5 health regenerated per second. That's a better amulet. Definitely a better amulet. So to say, once you got some health regen, you can actually out-tank quite a bit. So if you get melee attacked every once in a while, it's gonna be okay. Let's see. Anything better here? Not quite. We got some doomsticks, which have a ton of energy regen. This is a nice alternative way to deal with your energy management. But I think in terms of weapons, see, there's no real ritual weapons yet. But we'll have to find our second merchant. So, Barnabas is missing an apprentice. I think we might just want to get to the next waypoint. Let's look for the Wightmire. Let's do some simple zombie slaying. So after this we poured it out. Normally, of course, you end up and then to the right. More zombies. More corpses. Also, my level up icon is blinking. That means I probably missed another level up. Of course I did. Ooh, next tier. So, Maven's Sphere of Protection. This is a maintained effect. It costs 2 energy per second. And it gives you damage absorption. Basically, that damage never happens. Also, your outgoing damage is lowered. So, you do less damage, you take less damage. It's a defensive type of deal. On the other hand, you get Arcane Will. Whenever your health drops below 70%, you get a sudden burst. A burst of energy that will increase your damage, and it will give you extra energy regen. So it's a nice way to compensate for things. You know what? We're gonna go with Arcane Thingamajig first, because it triggers, so you don't have to think about it. And then we'll take it from there. Burial Hills entrance. Okay, that came out down there. But that's also the nice thing. Every time they release a patch that adds a lot of content, level design, level layout switches slightly. I think they overhauled this area for a bit, even though I don't consciously remember reading it in the patch notes. But it's always nice. It does spice things up a little bit every time you play through the game again. I mean, I've started about half a dozen characters now in total. Over the entire course of since when the game started in early access on Steam. And yeah, since beta 27 I've done 2 full Let's Plays, and this is going to be my 3rd full Let's Play of the entire storyline, that is. But it's nice to have something different to look forward to. Oh, we actually, I know there's a bit of a side area at some point, and there we have to kill the dude. Not you, Pharos the Rotted. I'm gonna kill you anyway. Not because I personally have an issue with you, but... Oh, he's a unique and he needs to die. That's how it works. Barf. Stop barfing. Puking. We got him. That looks unhealthy. Okay. Loot all the things. What's in here? Were you guarding a treasure pile or anything? Nope. No, but we were looking for Sybil's sister. We were looking for Milton Hart, who was lost around here somewhere. Let's see, sisters, blah blah blah. In the Sodden Hollow in Wightmire. Ah, okay, so that's a little bit further. Okay, well, that happens. Okay, there. This is not the lair we're looking for either. Okay, we'll just keep pushing north till the next waypoint. Just do a little bit of exploring. Oh, and that's always one of the nice aspects of Grim Dawn. Just wandering about, killing random monsters, exploring new areas you haven't been to before. It's always good. Most of the time there is something fun to do. There's a unique or a small side quest or some interesting building or something. Okay, so we got the Wightmire over here. Let's see, freeze all the things. I don't think I like it here anymore. Let's get the heck out of here. So, whenever they get close, of course, we have our... what was it called again? Electra's Flash Freeze. Or Ice Nova. They've got very creative names for classic skills in this game. With the Night Blades, no, I was playing a build that was mostly doing passives. Well, summons are summons. But here you really notice that, no, Panetti's replicating missile, for example. It's not just a magic missile. It's a magic missile that replicates. And therefore it is way cooler. Obviously. We have to head east for Milton Hart. Yeah, that's gonna be the goal of this episode. Looking for Milton Hart. Bound to be here somewhere. His sister just wants to know where he is. So, well, we'll kill him, steal his amulet, and tell everybody that he's now in a better place. He's resting. It's good for everybody, mostly me. And then, oh, things are gonna be good. Also, corpse. Ooh, and a sacrificial dagger. Are you good? Lightning damage, vitality damage, electrocute damage, and health. Yeah. Would be nice if I find one that has a pretty nice bonus to elemental damage. Because of course elemental damage includes all 3 elements. And I do all 3 elements. Level 10, that means multi-classing is now enabled, which we're not gonna do. But it's good to keep in mind anyway. Ooh, I completely forgot, we get distortion now. So, replicating missiles distort your enemy, have a chance to pierce, and they do ether damage on top of everything. So, they're still purplish. Well, they're slightly bluish now, aren't they? Also, cave entrance here. They threw things around, because I don't remember this cave entrance. There's a Jasper over there. Who is Jasper? There's some convict lackeys over here. Convict gunmans. What? This might be completely new content, or it's something I just accidentally always bypassed. Wow, double green. That is nice. So, a helmet. And a helmet's level 11 and level 12. Fire damage, ether damage, offensive ability. This is potentially interesting. This is not. Boots with health regen. Yeah, sure, why not? And everything else is just rubbish. Okay. Dirt covered notes. Also an armor collection. Note. Okay, let's read it. This is new, so I'll read the lore. Got ourselves a bunch of them idiot rovers wandering in our hideout the other night. They were unarmed, as they often are. Of course, they tried to run when we jumped them, but little good that did them. Now we have ourselves a few slaves digging in the mine. Can't eat coal though, and our food supplies are starting to run out. The rovers barely had a few scraps between them. With the Burbage Bridge destroyed, we're stuck in the swamp. I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps we made a mistake by not following Cronny's gang to the west. May not be much pickings in the wilderness on that side of Devil's Crossing, but at least they had numbers. Could probably hunt down a decent-sized boar between the lot of them. Out here, we got nothing but sliff and the dead. So, wannabe Grim Dawn cowboys stuck out here. Captive Rovers, hello Jasper, how are you? Please, stay weapon stranger, we're not outlaws. We were captured and put to work here in the mine. I hope you're here to set us free. You're slaves here? So it would seem, and nothing is worse to a rover than being confined. We're part of a rover band that set up camp in a secluded part of Wightmire, hoping to avoid trouble, but trouble found us anyway. They captured 4 of us, but young Larkin and 2 other men who were here already died from overwork. They just left their bodies down here with us. Rovers follow the path of peace, but I can't help thinking the world is a better place since you sent those outlaws to meet their judgment. I can get you to Devil's Crossing with a Riftgate. Riftgate, curious. I thank you for your kind offer, but we should return to our people out in the swamps. That is our path. Very well. Well, the rovers like me now. We will spread the word of your deed. Should you ever find yourself in the company of the rovers, you will always find a place besides a fire. So, now this starts to ring a bell. I think I just simply missed it on my previous playthrough. But it is nice anyway. Also, you, be frozen. Yes. And be bombarded. Metal strongbox. So this is actually a pretty nice location to go to early on, due to the treasure boxes and some rover faction. It's always good to get a reputation with the factions. Okay, so Milton Hart. I kind of said I wanted to finish him off, didn't I? Also, there is the waypoint here. Okay, let's become immortal for a bit. And then just bombard the heck out of this. Okay, I want to run away now. Maybe bombarding at first sight is not the brightest of ideas. Good thing is, I do have that freeze and it is actually potent. So these are level 12s, so they do hit a bit harder than you would think. Also, stop trying to attack me. Really. But of course, this early on, your gear is rather rubbish. So everything you find or anything you find is an upgrade. Or it's worth money that you can use to buy upgrades or craft upgrades. I actually can't craft yet because, of course, you don't have the access to a blacksmith yet. You need to first free him. You, champion, I don't like you. Also, there's Sliff here, and I think there's bugs to the south, hence the creepy crawlies after me. So, yes, bug artillery. I already dislike mosquitoes, so anything that's even worse and that's throwing stuff at me, I'm not a big fan. Stuff to loot. Treasure boxes. Random locations are good. There's not a lot of other stuff going on. Not yet. So, oh, the cereals. Yeah, I have some sky shards. Okay, so next wave. I'll just keep shooting missiles at him. Freeze what gets close. Okay, so those sky shards are a little bit random. Makes it tricky to actually aim them. Oi, stop barfing fire all over me. And we secured the waypoint. So yeah, we're gonna go for Milton Heart as well. I said I would do it, so it kind of makes me obligated to do it, right? And also, no, since I'm releasing these episodes every other day, might as well make them count. So I do want to stick to under 30 minutes where possible, but yeah. I'm having way too much fun, and I don't want to start another episode just yet. I have to wrap this up. Give some closure. Just like Sybil Hart will have some closure once she knows her brother is not roaming the wilds anymore. Okay, so these normal packs, they're pretty okay to deal with. Once things get a bit more exotic, once you get some yellows in there or some uniques, then things get tricky. So Southern Hollow, this is where Milton is. Also, once we get a bit of a higher level on our first upgrade to Panetti's, what's it called? Distortion. I think it goes up to 60% pierce, which, you know, is a bit more reliable than the 20% or so that we got now. Yeah, see, 20. Well, if the missiles pierce, they're gonna hit more things, and that means that it's easier to shoot at the artillery in the back, while also hitting all the tanks that try to murder you. You stop attacking me. Same goes for you. And I'll take that crystal, thank you very much. Okay, so there's some houses here. Good chance our lost brother is somewhere nearby. And we hit level 11 already. We started at level 7, so we're progressing pretty darn well. Okay, it's dead. So every time our life drops below 70%, we will get a nice boost to our damage and energy regen, of course. Given what I've seen so far, I think we will be hitting that threshold quite a lot. And the nice thing is that the cooldown is the same duration as the actual skill duration, so it's both 6 seconds. Here. So once the effect is over, it can instantly trigger again, so it could potentially stay up. Hi, you're not the guy I'm looking for. You're Julius the Decade. Or Julius. Not Julius. Okay, here, you're frozen. No, I can run away. Yeah, this is definitely not a brave hero. Not yet, at least. We'll make you a hero yet. But for now, we just need some better loot. A bit more skills will help as well. If I were a zombified brother, where the heck would I hide? Usually you can't enter this area without stumbling over the bloke. Now, however... Ah! Okay, so he used to be located on the right hand side, now he's on the left hand side. Wait, you! Yes, you! Bugger off! Okay, he's summoning way too many zombies. Just for the record. Did he always summon this many zombies, or is this a new thing? Just take out some casters, deal with them. Come in mortal for a bit, get some damage reflection. Here, right, we got you. And let's walk over to the house and loot it. Bound to have something useful. He was guarding it with his life, so should have been for something. Or was it just one untouched meal? Final meal before he turned. Looks like it. So wretch over there. It's just it. Right. Nothing on the pier over here. Oh, actually. Okay, well. We unlocked the waypoint, so we might as well go back to town. Have a chat with Sybil. And then call it an episode. And the nice thing is, doing the quest for Sybil here, it always gets you a new amulet. You've returned! I see you carry my brother's amulet. So it is as I feared. Yes, unfortunately, he is undead. Sorry for your loss. And thank you for the amulet. That one. Interestingly, it's actually worse than what we have, because 5.5 health regenerated is pretty darn good. I only get 40 health, so I think the life per second is actually better to have. Yeah, oh, we got a lot of items, not really important. I'll sort through them, and then next episode we can just continue.
Good, you're back. I've heard one of my... You've proven you follow the road north through Wightmire.
Ready. So, he's pretty happy with what we did to help the other people. So, we can move on. Hey, something for nothing. Is that... That's a new quest. Negan the Withered. Oh, that's Harmond. He no longer wants you to kill random guys. He actually wants you to kill named ones. Ah, that makes sense. So we did kill Julius and Pharos, and we just have Negan to continue with. As I say, they keep making small changes to just optimize the flow of the game, of the progression. And I really like it. It shows a developer that's never content to just let the game be. They always seek to improve it, and I think that's a good thing. But with that, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna end this episode, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.